Now, despite winning the league, Liverpool have already working hard in the transfer window to sign their first targets. Now, the reports are coming out that Jeremie Frimpong is their #1 idea to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold, and in this video we're going to talk about why this unconventional fullback could be the best solution for Liverpool next season. So let's get into it. Now, first of all, the Jeremie Frimpong links to Liverpool I think look a little bit strange. That is because Trent Alexander-Arnold is obviously leaving and he is known as this incredible elite passer, probably one of the best in the world, and Liverpool are replacing him with someone that is completely different, arguably a world-class player on the other side of the spectrum. That is because if you look at the stats from Scouted, you can see for pass-heavy fullbacks, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the furthest one up and the best in the world at it. And if you compare that to wingbacks who carry the ball a lot and progressive with it, you can see Frimpong is actually really far ahead of it, being the complete opposite to Trent. Now, I actually think the unconventional way of how Frimpong plays is the reason why Arne Slot wants him as Liverpool's right back. And I believe with Trent, they have got used to having a right back who maybe isn't the best defensively to get the best of their forward line, which is why it might work. Now, first of all, let's talk about the positives that Frimpong has as a player, and the first one is his pace. He is known to be absolutely rapid, one of the fastest players in Europe, and has a pace clocked in at 36.34 kilometers per hour, while having 983 sprints this season in the Bundesliga. Now, the most important thing about his pace, though, is not how he is straight line speed is incredible, it's just how he manipulates the space that he has on that right side. Many times he will start off a bit centrally and go out more wide to give that space there in the middle for someone else. There's a lot of times he will start a wider area and then come inside to create a +1 to bring the fullback with him, which is something that we're seeing a lot with overlapping players and underlapping fullbacks in the past. And he doesn't just do that when it's on the ball on his side, he's also very good at helping the team in attack by being the +1 in certain situations. There's certain times you'll see Leverkusen build up on the left hand side, maybe Grimaldo, maybe their players out there, and they will have that ball back post to Frimpong on the whole time, because as a wing back he is always at the back post waiting for it, and actually a lot of his goals come from these areas where he's found that space and runs all the way from the defense to get up there to be that +1, which is very helpful. Now, not only that, he is obviously incredible at bringing the ball forward. He takes the ball well from deeper areas and takes players on at 1 successful per game, but it's his 4.2 successful progressive carries, which is incredible. He is so quick and he's so good at his close control that with the ball he doesn't really lose that pace too much, especially when defenders are one-on-one with him, go past them with ease, even going out wide or inside. He does prefer to go outside a bit more, I would say, and then he is able to get into the attacking positions to cross or find a ball. And looking at some of his attacking stats for fullbacks, they are elite. He has 0.2 assists per 90 and 0.14 non-penalty goals, which means per game he's getting around a 0.37 expected goals and assists, which means he's getting a goal or assist in every 3 games this season, which is incredible. He's also having a 1.3 shots per game on average, which is insane. He's in the top 7% of fullbacks, and he is creating around 2.5 shot creating actions as well, which puts him very high up on many of these lists, which just show how great he is in them attacking areas. Now, this is why he is good, but why is he going to fit into Liverpool's system? Well, first of all, Slot's tactics definitely want runners within the squad. A lot of the time this season, I think Conor Bradley has been the sort of indication that you can see that Liverpool have been trying to change certain things. There's obviously been a knowledge that Trent isn't going to be there forever, and even then you can't rely on Trent's line breaking passes even when he's there, because if he has an off day, if he's not in the team because of injury, it really limits the squad in many ways. So a lot of the time you're seeing Conor Bradley really be very high up on that right hand side and allow Salah to come inside a few times and have that one-on-one isolated because Bradley takes them away. Even one of the goals against Arsenal the other day, you see Bradley making that movement run forward and he actually takes a defender away for Salah to get the space to end up creating a chance. This has been something they've used so much at Liverpool over the last year when Bradley has played, because he has them legs to keep going forward, and even from build up you see he actually starts very high up the pitch in very much progressive areas, which is very interesting. This is basically the Frimpong role. Not only is he way less raw than Conor Bradley, he has done this job very well for Leverkusen over the last couple of years, and he's definitely experienced in being a player that can be on that attack, and with his pace in behind, he can always be an outlet to drag players away for Salah to get inside a little bit more. And Salah is brilliant as a wide player, bringing the ball from maybe them wide areas near the byline and coming inside, but you want him in them inside channels to really create and be so electric. And especially considering he's getting older and he's not being able to run maybe off the ball as much, this makes a lot more sense for Frimpong being them incredible legs next to him who can just keep running up and down the channel to help. And something that's going to be interesting as well, when Frimpong picks up this ball deeper, maybe in the right half channel, maybe on the break as well, because he works very well in chaos, and we know Liverpool love creating chaos, especially this season. With his 3.78 dribbles per 90, it puts him really high up for fullbacks within the Bundesliga. Now, these carries and this on-the-ball work is going to drag players towards him. You might see a midfielder for the other team come over, the left centre mid, or even maybe the left back have to cover, and maybe the centre back has to come over to even stop Salah instead. Now, if the midfielder moves over, it is going to free up SOLVES, and if the left back moves over, it's going to free up Salah. And with his great incisive passes, he can put them balls through. But I think more importantly, when you get to Salah's holding the ball up, and even SOLVES in many ways, he can run off it. He's received around 10 progressive passes per game, which is an incredible amount. And it's because he's always making these attacking runs into space. He will always help going forward, and Liverpool will have that sort of cover, especially wing play will be excellent with the overlapping options that they have. And it has to be noted that his off the ball work rate is incredible. He is proactive and forward thinking, but he will run back. He is very fast. He is very willing to get back and help. And although he's not physically probably at the level you would want for a Premier League, only being around 5'7", he can hold his own, or at least stop players coming so players can come back. Now, what I will say is that his defensive work maybe get a little bit overstated about how bad he is at defending. He isn't the worst defender in the world. He is just not really tasked for Leverkusen to do much of it, and he never really has in his career, even at Celtic, where teams aren't just that good going forward. Now, I don't think he is the best defender in the world. I think physically he's not really there a lot of the time, and I do think he's a little bit rash in decision, but I don't think this is something that Liverpool won't have seen and won't really worry about. My only issue with it is that Liverpool will need a DM or a central midfielder to cover for him a lot, and obviously there's rumours to Angelo Stiller, but it doesn't seem like he's the priority right now. But there is rumours with Milo Krjikev as a left back, and if they are going to get these two really attacking dynamic fullbacks in who do work hard and can get back defensively, they are going to need someone to cover. And we have seen SOLVES in the past cover for fullback areas, so maybe that's the sort of idea where Bradley used to go up and SOLVES covers for him. We could always do that, I think. But sometimes you obviously want SOLVES in them sort of in between channels going forward, and Gravenberch and McAllister can definitely cover for that way, but I do want McAllister a little bit further up, if I'm being honest. Now, overall, I think it's quite clear what Liverpool are trying to do with their team. They've seen the sort of Bradley system, but maybe they think Bradley needs even competition, or maybe a little bit of time to get to be that starter. So Frimpong coming in for the cheap price around £35 million, which is rumoured to be, makes sense that Liverpool would do that. It's another smart signing by Edwards. It also makes even more sense because he's actually homegrown, because he was in Man City's academy for so long, and I think he will do a lot of the running for people like Salah, who doesn't need to anymore. And there's obviously going to be weaknesses defensively, but Liverpool this season haven't necessarily focused on their defence, and they've still been excellent. And they know if they can get Salah the most chances and most time on the ball, that they'll probably be the best way for them to win. Just outscore teams at the end of the day and let your centre-backs do the defensive work. Now, I actually think Bradley is a little bit more physical than him. I don't think Bradley's as good going forward as Frimpong, but I actually think in defensive areas he's probably a little bit more switched on, and I think his positioning's a little bit better. So I think there's certain games where you would want Bradley to play over Frimpong because of that level, and maybe depending on the winger they're going to go against as well might be a big impact for that. But that's the point, I think, is to develop Bradley and give him game time, but make sure he doesn't have to play every game. And especially against some of the teams that Liverpool have increasingly much better attacks, then they will thrive. And I expect Frimpong to get a decent amount of goal contributions next season if this transfer goes through, which usually when Liverpool want their players in the news, it seems to happen. Now, overall, if you want me to do a video about the targets that Liverpool should target, I've been thinking about doing it, so put in the comments if you want to see that. But thank you guys for watching nevertheless, and I do think Frimpong will be a brilliant signing for Liverpool. See you in the next one.